Joining me now from Access Capital to talk more about these results is Vince Tizzio. He is the CEO and president. Vince, welcome.
Nice to be here. Thank you.
It's great to have you on the show. And for our viewers watching, what were your takeaways from your latest report?
We were quite pleased with the reported earnings of yesterday. I'm just back from Bermuda this morning. It was a record-setting quarter for Access. We had record production, record operating income, and very strong earnings per share of $3.17. We delivered a 19.2 return on equity. We're very pleased with the start of the year.
Interesting. What is driving that performance?
Yeah, well, we've been working for the last 2 years at repositioning our company. We're leaning into market opportunities. Last May, we delivered an investor day that really restated our underwriting strategy, and so we're simply executing against those principles. The first, of course, is operating in specialty markets that offer favorable margin. The second is enhancing our operating platform to deliver those products and capabilities. The third is really allocating our capital to invest in the areas that we see growth potential. And then finally, it's always about people. We've made a number of enhancements to our people strategy.
What is the demand that you're seeing for your services in this environment?
Our submission flow was up over 20% in the quarter. We think that that's an ongoing phenomenon that we've been able to witness and both enjoy and capitalize against. We think that specialty needs are really fundamental to the gaps in coverage provided by the primary markets.
And you've talked about changes that you're making to set yourself up for success going forward. Where are we in that turnaround plan?
Yeah, we launched a campaign called How We Work. It's our transformation nickname. We're in the early innings of it. In some ways, we're more advanced, certainly in our portfolio construct, late innings, in terms of enhancements to our operating platform, middle innings. And on the people dimension, we're in the middle innings there as well. So we're quite excited about the progress, but there's still more in front of us.
And what are some of the challenges or potential roadblocks that might be ahead for your firm?
Yeah, when we think about the current economic environment, geopolitical environment, and we think about tariffs as well, the impact to a specialty insurer can be felt in a few ways. The first might be rising loss cost trends, a key component about how we price our products. The second could be moderating growth, and then ultimately how we respond to those phenomena. Those are the things that we're thinking carefully about.
It is Mental Health Awareness Month,
Sure
May
is.
officially kicking off yesterday. How is your company leaning into that?
Well, it's an important subject for us. As you know, the global economy shows over 600 million people affected by some form of mental health challenge, $1 trillion of estimated lost productivity. We at Access have embraced the transformation effort, and in doing so, we want to be really careful how people are being affected by it. So we have a partnership with Project Healthy Minds that helps us in the provision of care to our employees, and we've embarked on a campaign of listening, learning, and sharing. And so we're really excited about the progress we're making there and the engagement of our team.
What are the results that you've seen so far?
Well, first, people feel a voice to be heard, and I think it's critically important. We're a global business. There's different feelings being affected by what's going on. Secondly, we've recasted our benefits to make certain that we're providing care where people need it, and then availability of care, equally important. We're making certain that we create inroads to that care delivery.
For viewers who are watching, wanting to get a better sense of your business and how you operate, Vince, what would you tell them?
We're a custom-tailored suit. We cover exposures to loss that commercial companies face and wish to transfer. And examples of that would be cyber insurance, directors and officers liability insurance, just two that I think people can recognize.
Yeah, we were covering, in fact, the RSA conference in San Francisco earlier this week, talking about the importance of cybersecurity, increasingly in the age of artificial intelligence, how AI can help and in some ways make some of these threats even more pervasive. What do you see on the cybersecurity front?
Well, first, it's incredibly important to have a mindset of constant learning. This is an issue, exposure to loss, as we refer to it, that is evolving. AI is just a new ingredient that is creating the ability for perpetrators to create claims in commercial organizations. Access Capital is a top 10 global provider of cyber insurance, and it's an area that we have deep expertise. But I would say it's no longer worrying about so-called phishing or ransomware. AI is creating new exposures to loss that commercial concerns have to be worried about and make certain that they have adequate protection.
How quickly can your firm step in to support that?
Well, it depends on the wherewithal of the organization, right? Larger companies have strengthened capabilities and protocols that give them enhancements to identify threats, but also to take measures to protect themselves. Smaller companies can be challenged by it, and so it's incredibly important that their advisor, their broker, give them the best insurance product available to them in the market.
That is Vince Tizzio. He's the CEO and president of Access Capital, joining us in person, publicly listed here at the New York Stock Exchange after earnings. Vince, thank you.
Thank you.